Okay guys, so the biggest part of the discussion, I want to talk about decluttering culture on YouTube and in the specifics with Bath and Body Works. As you guys know, if you guys have been following me since I very first started my channel, I think it's like 8 or 9 months ago, I grew up in a situation where I did not have the financial ability to be one of those girls in the locker rooms with sweet pea or cucumber melon in my backpack. I didn't grow up like that. It wasn't as known back then about the sales cycles with Bath and Body Works or when sales were, and it was just so far out of reach for my parents when I was growing up. But that is to say, that is probably the biggest reason why I collect what I collect now as an adult, why I participate in all the sales, and why I've made those collections for my 2 teenagers as well. Yes, there's a lot of psychology with that, guys. I know how it sounds. I know what it looks like. You know, I'm smart enough to catch on to that part of it. But at the same time, this has been something that I have done and I have collected for years. Now, have there been times where, oh my gosh, like 10, 12, years ago, that I would declutter my entire collection? Yes, there was a point maybe about 13, 14 years ago where I had the equivalent of maybe 2 of these shelves instead of 3 and, storage all over my house that I do right now. My entire collection, sold all of it on like a Facebook post at one time from where we were living at. Someone came and they took my entire collection. I think I ended up selling it for maybe $30, $40 for everything. And then I started getting really into essential oils and those. A long time ago, guys, I did a lot of those multi-level marketing companies. As a stay-at-home mom, I wanted to feel like I was part of a community. I wanted to feel like I was having something that could be like a hobby. Maybe I could make a few dollars from it while I was being a stay-at-home mom with my kids. And I fell hard down into all of the multi-level marketing companies. I had always had an interest in cosmetics. I did a lot of those companies. I had always had somewhat of an interest in, like the health and wellness field. And I really liked essential oils. I knew a lot of people that were into those. So I did a lot of those things. Did I ever make any money from those companies? Did I ever level up with those companies? I did make a tiny bit, but really only enough to supplement what I would buy next, to be honest with you guys. Did I level up with some companies? I did. I made it, to a couple of tiers in one of the cosmetic companies. Did I enjoy the products? I did. For some of the companies I worked with, I really used the products and I did like them. Is it something that long-term I could manage or handle? No. We were a much lower income family. I had 2 toddlers back to back, 2 babies, guys, back to back. We were lucky enough that they were both girls. And, my husband was working at night, going to school during the day. He was working in a factory. Like, there was a lot going on with us. And that was something that, I wanted some sort of distraction. But at the same time, did those things affect how I guess, progressed with collections and what I was interested in and things like that? Yes. One of the cats is trying to come into the room. Okay, so let's go back for a little bit. So I have had experience of decluttering my entire collection. And then what got me back into it, Bath and Body Works has always been something that I have always been interested in. the fragrance, the body sprays, sales, the price points, coming into something new for each season, it gets addicting. It gets addicting. Do I have one of those shopping mentalities? I do. I will be the first to admit it. When something new comes out and I'm like, oh, well, you know, it's a good price point. I can get this and I can get this and I can get this. And it's something to spoil yourself with. Yes, guys, everybody falls under that. But why do we purchase from Bath & Body Works and then end up decluttering and moving on to the next thing? Recently, and I will say this, guys, very recently, I had the biggest hurdle of experiencing FOMO, fear of missing out, that I have ever experienced before. When the Everyday Luxuries line came out, I feel like I almost lost my brain when it came to that collection. I don't know. I'm pretty sure, guys, that it was my interest in the line, because I have not been somebody that has a huge perfume collection. I've never dropped that type of money on high-end fragrances before. I don't collect a lot of high-end perfumes because I feel like my perfumes are more for like date night type situations. And then the body sprays and the body mists and the body lotions, that's just for everyday pampering of yourself. And that's where my brain has always been. When the Everyday Luxuries line came out, I was so excited about that launch because they represented perfumes that, one, I had never smelled or never experienced, and two, the line actually came to our store in the mall where I had been working. I no longer work for Bath & Body Works, as you guys know. But seeing all of those in store, I knew that I wanted that entire collection. I knew that that would be a collection where I would want every single one of them. I wanted to test them out. I wanted to review them on YouTube, and that our store was lucky enough to get that in store after all the hype of everyone trying to look for them. But at the same time, could I have really afforded to purchase those when I did? No, guys, I probably should have waited. I should have let the hype die down. I should have waited to purchase until they came onto a sale. And now we are over a month later, guys. I mean, we're well past a month of when those when they did release. And I've already gone ahead and found the ones that I reach for the most, the ones that I don't reach for, or the ones that I'm waiting for another season to maybe see if I wear. Have I thought about decluttering anything of that line? No, I haven't thought of decluttering anything of that line, but you guys have seen I have already decluttered items from my personal collection because we're coming up to the sale for SAS and I'm running out of room in here in my vanity area. Now, we decluttered everything. I put a lot of stuff in, you know, if you're into Bath & Body Works, you have a lot of the shopper bags all over the place, guys. I save all of mine because my kids use them when they give, you know, presents or gifts to their friends, things like that. I put all of the things that I decluttered aside, and I thought to myself, okay, well, I can sell all of these and maybe have some money back for when I go and I purchase things at the SAS sale. And me and my husband talked about it a lot. And then it was just like, you know what? I'm coming up close on a year with YouTube. There is no guarantee that some of these items won't come back in another year or another 2 years. But if they do come back eventually, keeping it in an archive, at least for now, in our cellar makes a lot more sense than selling it all or getting rid of it, because they can always be a reference. If I'm not using it, if I'm not interested in the scent myself, it can go in the cellar and we can build up an archive and see how long, you know, my channel does, or how long I'm still interested in making videos. So we chose to do that. At first, I wasn't sure if I was going to tell anybody that I was doing that, but then I thought, why am I going to keep that information from my viewers? That's like really weird. So we decided to, you know, share it with you guys. I shared with you guys that, you know, I was making an archive, which when you are making videos on YouTube, you do go through this stage where you are trying so hard to keep up with the newest releases. You're trying so hard to build a collection to review or showcase, do first impressions of. And if you are someone that maybe doesn't make YouTube videos, but you watch YouTube videos, then you fall into that hype as well of feeling like you need to build a bigger and bigger and bigger collection of, you know, finding out what scents that you like and the new releases. Decluttering is something where, have I gone through stages in my life where I wanted to be a minimalist, and I wanted to get rid of like anything and everything. When we lived in a very small apartment, yes, because storage-wise, in a very small apartment, you don't have storage to collect every form of everything when it comes to, you know, something like Bath and Body Works. You just don't when you're in a really tiny apartment like we spent most of our lives in. Moving forward through, you know, my shopping, I guess, timeline and experiences with Bath and Body Works, it became something where that shopping mentality of, I had a bad day, I know there's a sale coming up, or, you know, this would be something good and nice to treat myself with. You fall into that pattern, but it's also, you can't beat maybe, you know, when you have had a bad day or you've had, you know, like a rough month, treating yourself when the price point of set sales is what they're at. It becomes something where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna spoil myself with, you know, a new spray this month or something. But then it becomes also, how much are we actually using of the scents that we end up collecting? Are we collecting just because it's the newest thing, or are we collecting because we actually love it? I have an example that I want to share with you guys. This is Love Always Wins. As you guys know, I just recently hauled this, you all. I am already almost halfway done. I'm almost halfway done. I have not had a bottle of a fine fragrance mist that I have gone through so fast since Golden Sunflower. I haven't. That shows me I really, really love that scent. Should I pick up that scent or pick up a couple of more when SAS comes around, if that's available on a sale? Oh yeah, because obviously I like it a lot. Have there been other scents that I've barely touched or used? Yes, there has. So with Luminous, I'm probably right here at the tip of the label on this one. So I've used it a little, I guess. I'm like right here on this Luminous. Now, do I like Luminous? Yes, I like Luminous. It reminds me of one of my perfumes that I absolutely love. It reminds me of La Vie Belle from Lancome, which I enjoy. It's right around what is, you know, what I feel is good for, you know, like my age range, I guess. Guys, I'm 41, I'm almost 42.
They move too fast, honey. For pictures. Not me again.